AITA for making a charitable donation in my niece's name versus giving her a tangible present. For the past few years, every time I buy my niece anything, she complains about it. She has expensive taste, and while I'm not broke, I certainly do not have the money to buy what she asks for. I've told her this in the past along with her mother. Both seem to understand, but my niece will still get a that's all attitude about her. One year, I got her a gift card to her favorite clothing store. It wasn't enough to buy a full outfit from there, but it'd get her a pair of jeans or a sweater or something. She said, "You expect me to be able to use this to buy something?" Another, I flat out gave her cash to put towards one of the items on her list, and I was told that it wasn't enough, so what was the point? She's 16 now. For her birthday in May, I sent her a gift card to a different store. When she called me to thank me, she said thank you, even though this isn't enough to buy anything. I was pretty pissed and told my sister I wasn't buying her daughter anything else. She said that wasn't fair because our brother's kids always get something to open on Christmas. Yeah, because her kids aren't ungrateful about the gifts. They understand I'm not the aunt that can spoil them, but they appreciate their small gifts. I still didn't want to cause drama on Christmas. Every year, I always get a kid from one of those organizations to buy a gift for. This year, I selected two. One of them wanted something within the budget I set for my nieces and nephews. I bought the present in niece's name and made a nice handmade card, detailing that a gift to a less fortunate child had been made in her name. We couldn't be together this year for Christmas because of Rona, but we did a Zoom celebration with everyone. My niece opened her gift and freaked the fuck out. She said it wasn't fair, everyone else got a gift. I said, I figured this was something that was useful. She got even more pissed, broke what my parents got her, and stormed out of the room. My family has called me an asshole for this. They said it would have been better to not get her anything at all. Am I an asshole? She broke a gift from her grandparents because she didn't like the gift you got her and they called you an asshole? NTA. She is lucky you bought her anything after her past behavior. The fact your family is upset with you that she freaked out tells me all I need to know. They are enablers. Info: is your niece's name Veruca Salt? No, but ironically her name starts with a V. NTA, especially if her reaction is to break another's gift after getting upset. The only thing you could have done is to warn her parents, but if she reacts like this to every one of your gifts, then her parents must be enabling this behavior. Otherwise, how could she be so brazen as to insult your gifts? NTA, I can't even imagine being that ungrateful. Fuck, this isn't enough. Oh, buy a whole outfit. Well, if you don't want it, then give it back, you ungrateful little. Let's just say I wouldn't have given her anything after the first time she said that until she apologized and learned to appreciate the things she gets. And I definitely suggest having a word with her parents because it's probably their fault that she's such a brat. Just stay out of it entirely and never get her anything again. AITA for yelling at my nurse for her prank. My first Reddit post. Sorry for my ramble in advance. After getting some blood work done at a doctor's appointment, I, 34/F, was waiting for my doctor to return, when a nurse came in. She congratulated me on my positive pregnancy results and said along the lines of, "Oh, sorry, I should wait for the doctor to go over everything." I was stunned. I felt so many emotions at once and I started just sobbing instantly. My husband and I had decided 6 months prior that we should try to start a family. I lost my him October 2020 to a car accident. The idea of him living on, even in that split second, had me so overcome that, like I said, I broke down. Happy as hell, but still crying. Not even 5 seconds later she said, "Oh, don't cry, I'm literally just messing with you, haha, don't worry, you're not pregnant, haha, I can tell you don't want kids, haha." / whatever that means. Now I'm not proud of this, but I lost my shit. Called her a cunt and said some pretty awful things before leaving, not even waiting for the doctor to come back. Now, I'm thinking I'm a complete asshole for laying into a young nurse who I assume was just trying to lighten the mood and would have no idea what I've been through with pregnancies. No NTA, she was so unprofessional. Your situation is exactly why you don't make jokes like that. OMFG, I would be filing a complaint with her office. And I am so sorry for the loss of your husband. Awful for it to happen at any time, but extra tough to have to deal with in the middle of a pandemic. NTA, that was really unprofessional and cruel of her. Pregnancy is never a joke. NTA, what she did was very unprofessional. I would honestly file a complaint even. Edit, wow. These upvotes so _oaf hats are first. I hope op is helped with the people's comments. NTA, he should know better. This is exactly why pregnancy isn't something to be joked about. I am so sorry for your loss. AITA, for leaving my parents' house early, was supposed to stay for a month, because my siblings wouldn't give me privacy when I was working with sensitive information. I hadn't seen my family for a year, for obvious reasons, but I decided to come home for the holidays. Since the whole family would be isolating for 2 weeks prior and during my visit, it seemed worthwhile to stay for a longer time to make it worth it. So the plan was to visit without working for the holidays, then I'd stay working from home for an additional 3 weeks. My family is my parents, my siblings, 13-year-old boy, 11-year-old girl, and I. I told my family I'd need a private room to work from. This was important because I work with sensitive data. I don't want to get into details of my job, but I can give a few examples of similarly sensitive topics to give you an idea. Something along the lines of a medical professional for high-profile clients on sensitive health issues, where they absolutely do not want a word getting out that they are getting the treatment. Or a witness protection program organizer for people in very high-profile cases, where the people in witness protection would be in danger if any details got out. Basically, a job where I am not just bound by the ethical standards of my profession, which are essential on their own, but also there is added pressure because the clients I work with are very high profile. And after the holidays, I started working from home from my dad's study. It seemed like my siblings were acting weird, like they were keeping some secret. 2 days into being back to work, I got up to use the bathroom and caught my siblings snooping at the closed door. Listening to what I was doing on my previous call, I blew up at them and said they were too old for this shit. They're not 6-year-old playing spies. In this argument they admitted they'd been listening for the last few days. I went back to work and sent the emails I needed to report an info leak. I know that sounds like overkill, but that's the policy at the job, to report it no matter what and let the management decide the seriousness and the next steps. It was definitely stressful to have to write. My manager said that it wasn't that serious, as they were just kids, but going forwards I'd need to find a secure place to work. I told my parents that I had to leave because I needed a private workspace and my siblings had been listening at the door. They were upset at me for leaving so much sooner than we'd planned, after they went through the effort to totally quarantine for weeks on end to prepare. I said that I was sorry, but I needed my job and I'd told the family that I'd need a private workspace to be able to work from their house, and they hadn't really taken that seriously. They saw my siblings sneaking around at the door and didn't bother asking them to stop or telling me. AITA, for leaving my family's house early. NTA, I'm in a similar field where confidentiality is of the utmost importance. Though your siblings are young, they're old enough to understand privacy, and your parents should be at the very least sitting them down for a chat so that they might understand how important it is for you to have your space. NTA, that was sensitive information and they broke the rules. You did what you had to, and protected your job the correct way. NTA, don't put your job in jeopardy because your family doesn't want to give you privacy. Parents are huge assholes. My parents would have ripped me a new one for putting a sibling's job in jeopardy, like there would have been hell to pay. NTA, even if your siblings didn't quite grasp the importance of your privacy while working or why eavesdropping is wrong, your parents knew what was going on and didn't stop them. You did what you had to do. And worse, if the siblings don't grasp the importance of privacy, they could be blabbing it to their friends, putting it on social media, etc.